Welcome, movie enthusiasts. Today's film review is of a film that's not exactly recent. Today I will be reviewing The Last Supper. The Last Supper is a 1996 black comedy film directed by Stacy Tidal and written by Dan Rosen and starring Cameron Diaz, Ron Eldard, Annabeth Gish, Jonathan Penner, and Courtney B. Vance. The film follows 5 liberal graduate school students who invite a string of conservatives to dinner in order to murder them. It is very strange to have a film be such a big part of your life and yet be a film you've never seen. Back in the days of VHS, for those who still remember, trailers played at the start of the tape before the movies began. It was always a great way to be introduced to films you had never seen or heard of. In the late 90s, many videos I watched played a trailer for a film called The Last Supper. As a child, I never understood what the trailer was about, but I always found myself loving it. As an adult, I finally remembered that trailer again and went on a mission to find the film. To my luck, I found it and watched it immediately. Finding and watching this film was the best film decision I made all year because this film has now, like Clue, joined the ranks of my favorite films ever. Director Stacy Tidal filmed this entire piece of work in just 18 days, and when you look at the visual storytelling and the level of detail going into each scene to convey these messages, it is a true testament to her skills as a director. I love this film so much that I can forgive her work on The Bye Bye Man. I also blame the writing for that one. What I love most about this film is that it completely accomplishes this mission that it sets for itself, which is to get people talking. It's been about a week or so, and I still can't stop talking about this film. It has been so long since a film inspired this level of discussion in me. I got my partner to watch it just so I'd have someone to talk about it with, and the back and forth it created in us was just amazing. I've never been a fan of the black comedy genre. The only black comedy I ever liked was The War of the Roses, and I certainly never giggled at that, though I'm not sure I was meant to. But The Last Supper is now my favorite black comedy, and I certainly had a few chuckles. Not because it was overtly funny, but more because of the tongue-in-cheek aspect to the dialogue, and at other times the audacity of the scene. It was so brilliant, I had to laugh. The Last Supper paints conservatives in a negative light, but this film is not about liberals being superior to conservatives. It is actually depicting them as bad as each other. It is trying to show the audience that no matter the cause or opinion or belief, as soon as you take it to the extreme, you are no longer helping the issue, you are now part of the problem. Which is beautifully accurate in every way, and given everything going on in the United States right now, I think this is the perfect time to bring this film back into the spotlight. I am not the type of person to throw around words like underrated or overrated so willy-nilly, but this film is extremely underrated. The progression of the story is perfect. It starts out as a normal group of people placed into an abnormal circumstance triggered by a difference of opinion. It then sparks an idea. What if we could better society by getting rid of people who make society worse? And so begins the plan to kill conservatives for a variety of reasons, from homophobia to racism to sexism. This film picks the most polarizing subjects and pushes them to extremes on both sides in a brilliant way. This is made better by the actors' performances and the journey of the characters. In the beginning, some of the characters are against taking a human life, but once the ball is rolling, the characters most against the idea become the ones who love it the most, and the ones most for the idea became the ones most against it and burdened by guilt. Each character goes through their own journey, and every single character has their own unique experience following these murderous events, which makes them each equally interesting to watch. As more and more people die, the characters begin to lose their way. Originally, there was an agreement not to kill someone unless they were unable to change their mind through open debate and argument. But eventually, they are no longer interested in changing minds. In fact, they are now killing over the most absurd reasons, such as literary differences. They are now sharing the mentality of those they have chosen to kill. They are now encouraging those with opposing viewpoints to keep their views even when compelled to change them just so they have a reason to kill them. The mission to better the world has disappeared, and now all we have left is intolerance and looking for people to hate and reasons to hate them. By the end of the film, we meet a character played by Ron Perlman, who originally they feel is their opposite, until he surprises them by explaining he shares polarizing views for ratings and to be a voice of dissent in today's society. His ability to challenge their thinking with words and intelligent argument has them realize they've gone too far. But this film is far from having a happy ending. I actually felt the ending was rather ambiguous. While one aspect of it is very clear, the reasons behind the actions are not, and I have a love-hate relationship with it. On one hand, I hate not 100% understanding the character's motivations, but on the other hand, I love that this one scene can lead viewers to form various opinions, furthering the film's message of encouraging people to talk. To stop sitting around complaining about issues but never doing anything about them, never trying to fix the problem. An issue held by both liberals and conservatives. Neither ever coming together to find a middle ground or to better understand the other, just both so ready to hate each other and tear the other apart for as little as one difference. There were a few scenes that at first I thought were going to get annoying, but then quickly made sense and I began to love and appreciate them. There is a separate story going on involving a police officer, and the film cuts to her every so often, and while initially her story has no relation to the main story, they both do end up coming together, demonstrating how connected everyone is by sometimes the most insignificant events. There were also continuous shots involving tomatoes. While this seems odd, it also works. As each person is buried under the tomato garden, the tomatoes grow in greater numbers and become sweet and delicious. They end up with so much they don't know what to do with it all. This imagery reflects the idea that this is the fruit of their labors, that they are being rewarded for their actions. But the more they are eating the tomatoes and the more they are killing, the more they are changing, and some even getting sick, as if to say they are being poisoned from the inside by what they are doing. It sounds a little strange in print, or as I'm saying this, but if you watch the film, you would see the brilliance in each scene. Everything about this film is perfect. Every single thing. The actors playing our victims surprised me because they are such well-known actors, and their performances too were terrific. Performances by actors such as Bill Paxton, Charles Durning, Mark Harmon, Nora Dunn, and Jason Alexander, and others. From beginning to end, this film had me captivated and entranced. I could not look away, and even after saying all this, I feel I could continue to talk about it for days. If you haven't seen or heard of this film, then I cannot recommend this enough. Please give this film a try because it deserves far more appreciation than it has ever received, and that is saying a lot coming from me. It is simple, but brilliant. That's it for this review. I hope you liked it. If you have seen the film, comment down below, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye.
It's 1909. You're in Austria, and you're alone with a young artist named Adolf Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Do you kill him? Do you murder him there, even though he hasn't done anything yet? Because you know you'll save all those millions of people.